Alrighty, howdy everybody. We're back with Dynasty Tactics. I don't know. You know what, like, the reason I'm doing this is because I've been looking through YouTube and I'm like, okay, there's these combo videos where they're showing these ridiculous-ass combos. They have these videos showing all the cutscenes. But they don't really have any, like, full playthroughs with, like, gameplay and stuff. And you know what, like, it's not a very well-known game. It's not super popular or anything, but it's just, like, I love this game. Like, it's literally one of the best games I've ever played. I've put so many hours into it, and it's like one of these things, like, you shouldn't really judge a game on how old it is. Well, you can, sort of, but you shouldn't judge a game on how the graphics are and just how on that solely, really. Like, it just doesn't make any sense, because you can't judge something from, say, 2000 or 1999 or whatever, compared to something in, like, 2010. Anyway, what I'm doing, I'm sending Zhang Zhao, or Zheng Zhao, whatever his name is. Yeah, I'm going to mispronounce all these names multiple times, so whatever. Obviously not Chinese. To Chen Gui. So Chen Gui, he's up here. He's a spy. So the nice thing about spies is that they can basically be reinforcements for your army, above and beyond what you already can have. So he's actually, technically I'm not supposed to get him. Technically he's supposed to join Lu Bu, I do believe, or it's Liu Bei, I'm not really sure. But what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to grab him. I'm going to send Zhang Zhao up here to go recruit him. I'm going to move Chengpu over here, just so I'm a little bit closer to where I want to go, which is over there. What I'll also do is that I'll name my envoys, which basically just, you send out the people and they recruit people for you, basically. So I'll send Sun Ce over there. We won't actually attack them until probably, like, the 2 turns left, probably. So I'll do it with just enough time to spare. And by doing that, I'll get the maximum number of people recruited, and I'll be able to basically just grab everybody that I need. So, whatever. Chengpu there, Zhao Tai's. Hu Xun's actually decent as well. He gets taunt. I will pick him up, just because that taunt is just so useful, especially early game, where it's kind of difficult to come to grips with your enemy. So I'm going to move all my units here. You see Cao Cao, he's up here defeating Li Ji, however you pronounce that. God damn it. I feel really bad speaking like this. So basically all these different rulers are basically just fighting each other. I'm going to recruit these people, and there we go. So that's good. We will leave him. We don't need to send him back or anything. We can move Sun Ce right here to recruit Zhao Tai. We can remove, or not remove, we're going to move Tasha C and move him over there. And then we will move Zheng Zhao over there to recruit him. So there we go. There we go. I think that's all I need to do at this point. I may as well put Zhao Yu in here. And I may as well use Hungai for now. He still does not have taunt. That's unfortunate. Whatever, we'll leave him for now. Not really going to worry about that. Send them off. So we will recruit Zhao Tai, we'll recruit Chen Gui, Chen Wu, sure, why not? Liu Yang, yes. So, and then we'll move. See, it's one big chain, right? So you recruit one officer, then another one, he's friends with another one, which is friends with another one, which is friends with another one, right? So it kind of adds up. Oops. So we'll move Sun Ce here. We will put Zhao Tai as there. I'm going to see if Chengpu levels up properly this time. I don't know what, but for some reason, it's like he just refuses to level, and it's really frustrating, but whatever. We'll also create another army under Zhao Tai. Hey.
See you in a couple of hours.
Yeah, have fun. Hey, Molly. How's it going? How's it going, Molly dog? Molly dog. Alrighty, and do that. Alright, good enough. We can actually leave these guys. I'm not really gonna pick up people that aren't very good. Like, because I've played the game a fair amount, I know which characters are good and which characters are not so good, I guess. So like Chen Wu, I'll probably replace Cheng Pu, depending on whether or not he levels up properly. We may or may not replace him. We'll keep these. Hungai, yeah, probably replace. It depends how lucky I get, and it also depends on, you know what, there's just so many different factors, really. So we'll do Changui. So the way that spies work is that, as you can see, a point is envoy on map screen, so then you'll appear as special units on the battlefield. So usually the limit to the number of units that you can have is 8. So 2 armies of 4. So in this case right here, I have 2 armies of 4, and then I also have a spy, which basically means that I have 9 units instead of, you know, 8. These people, they only have 2, so obviously I'm a lot more powerful than they are. And actually, at this point, I technically am, like, the AI doesn't, well, I guess, Zhao Zhao, I take it back. Zhao Zhao has 2 full armies as well, but it's not, he doesn't keep them together. Zhao Zhao, he's probably my most favorite character to play. Not his personality or anything, but the way that he works in this game is that he gets so many good officers, so many good, competent people that have so many good tactics, and just the way that his army works is just, it works so well for my playstyle. And I don't know, there's a couple different playstyles that you can do in this game. Like, what I like to do is that I like to pick people off with taunt, basically. Oops, I didn't realize. Oh, crap. Oh, that's fine. Hold on. We're actually going to do Liu Yang. Because he has 3 boosts, right? So that's nice because I can chain together a lot of other tactics. And actually, he has a decent amount of troops, actually. His stats are kind of low. Like, if you look at, say, like, this guy's stats versus his stats, this is very, very, like, very strength-based, very, very powerful, whereas this is kind of, like, really balanced, and it's not really that useful. But you know what, like, for now, since I don't have that many units, I'm going to use him. Zhao Tai, the nice thing about him is that he gets a lot of support tactics. So he gets a lot of aids, and he gets a lot of boosts, and he also gets a couple repels and stuff. So those will basically allow me to chain together a lot of tactics, and not to mention he has very, very high strength value. So that means that he's able to do a lot of damage, basically. Huixun, basically, he gets taunt once he hits level 3. So that's the reason why he's in my strategist spot. Another thing, too, I didn't really talk about this, the stats. So basically, there's intelligence, strength, and leader. I'm not really sure what that means. I feel kind of silly not knowing what that is. Whatever, it's something. So I think what LEA does is that it affects certain types of tactics. Same thing with strength and intelligence. Now, intelligence, it's better to have a higher intelligence person as your strategist, because, number one, you're going to be able to pit more effectively, you're going to be able to link more effectively, you get more special tactics, which I'll kind of get to a little bit later. So yeah, so like Zhao Yu, he has 54 intelligence, which is really good. So I have him as the strategist right now, and then Huixun is about 40. So that's pretty good too, and actually, that's kind of surprising. I didn't realize Cheng Pu has such high intelligence. Actually, this guy is really good stat-wise. Like, if you look at that, like, compared to, say, someone like Liu Yang, like, someone like Cheng Pu is fucking amazing, really. Well, we'll see if he levels. I know that I've seen him at endgame, where basically, like, this is very, very early in the game. Like, people are level 4, level 3, level 1, whatever. This is just the beginning. But once you start getting people to, say, level, like, 10 or level 12, that's when you start getting to see, like, the full kind of the choices that you can get with different characters, and they really get fleshed out a lot. So characters like Zhao Yu, characters like Cheng Pu, they're really, really good late game, where they have a lot of different tactics. You can kind of customize them the way that you want. Whereas like stuff like, yeah, like Liu Yang, because of his stats and the way that he scales, he's not very good, really. It's much easier to play with characters like this, which really high stats, than to play with characters like this, which have really low stats. So anyway, whatever. Enough talking. So we'll end this turn. We will kind of put everything together. You see they're fighting. Again, fighting. Now, actually, the one thing with Liu Bei is that oftentimes in this phase, it basically starts out the same every single time. So if you start as Liu Bei, you start there. If you start as Zhao Zhao, you start there. And then if you're Liu Sensei, obviously you start there. But depending on what you do, depending on who you ally with, stuff like that, it can go in different directions, which is really cool. And that's, like, it's very simple to do, really. Like, it's not like this is a high-intensity, high-graphics game where you need to do a whole bunch of different things. It's kind of like they're little blocks, basically, and you move the blocks to other blocks, and then you fight with blocks, basically. So it's really easily customizable that way, which is really nice. So the way that it works is that Yuan Shao, basically, he takes over Gokstenzan, whatever his name is, and basically wipes him off the face of the earth. So then Yuan Shao is very large in the north. Cao Cao becomes very powerful here. He defeats Liu Ji. And then Liu Bei, basically, he gets run off by Cao Cao. So he has to basically... The way that it works a lot of the time is that you're basically fleeing while fighting, all the way down here. And then eventually you take Jing, which is what this is. And then basically eventually you will end up over here, where Liu Zhang is, who's actually like a, I don't know, cousin or something of Liu Bei. And yeah, and then Sun Ce, basically, he just kind of moseys around here, takes out all the local leaders, and then basically just kind of expands like that, depending on which choices you do, really. There's actually one... there's one actual, like, eventuality, where actually what happens is Sun Ce gets really aggressive, he attacks here, he actually dies, but Sun Quan, his brother, takes over. And then basically you just, like, you run into here at level, like, 5, which, like, it's end game at level 5, which doesn't make any sense, really. Like, you're basically taking over vast areas and fighting in these big, like, 4v or 8v8 fights at level 5, which just, it's completely counter. It just doesn't make any sense to someone who's played a lot of end games, where you have people, like, they're basically almost max level. Yeah, so that's about that. Not gonna worry about that. The nice thing, too, about Cao Cao is that there's a type of skill, it's called Zeal, Z-E-A-L, and basically what it does is that it doubles the amount of deeds that you receive per battle. Now, what that means, basically, is that you will level up ridiculously quickly. Like, somebody with Zeal, they will usually be about maybe 3 levels ahead of the group, and they're usually, their strength usually scales very well. They're usually very good, and basically those are the characters that are really nice. And unfortunately, Sun Ce doesn't really have one of those. Cao Cao has one of those. Liu Bei has one. Liu Bei's isn't very good. He's called Guan Suo, I believe. Yeah, Guan Suo. And he does level up very quickly, but he doesn't have very good tactics. Whereas Deng Ai, D-E-N-G-A-I, he's Zeal, so he actually spawns right here, and he is a monster. He is an absolute monster. He's one of my favorite characters in the entire game. Just because of his skills and stuff, right? Okay, enough talking. Sorry. Listening to me ramble on about this game. I don't know. To me, this is one of the best games I've ever played. Like, realistically, like, it's just so amazing. I just feel like it's really well thought out. I feel like there's just so many different paths and so many different ways you can go. And it's very entertaining to play as well. It's very addictive. Anyway, I am going to attack this turn. I'm going to wipe out this guy. So as you can see, yeah, so there we go. And you see my little envoy there as well. So it's going to be 9v2, so it's not exactly going to be super fair for this guy. But whatever. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to try to taunt... Oh, crap, I didn't taunt. I didn't put the guy with taunt in my army. Oh well, whatever. I'm just gonna full-on charge then, whatever. What I usually like to do is I like to taunt people cross-map, and then they'll come to you, and then you can set up like a massive tactic chain, and then they'll just die in like 3 seconds. So the reason that I changed all these characters to spearmen instead of bowmen is that I find that spearmen are just a lot more effective against most unit types, really. I don't know. I haven't found bowmen to be very effective.